Right before the blood began to flow, right before first blood was drawn, right before the axe fell on young Congress leader Sachin Pilot, these were the images between Jaipur and Manesar. Neighboring states, MLAs of Ashok Gehlot camp waving the victory sign. That was yesterday. And on the right, MLAs of Sachin Pilot camp being paraded there at the ITC hotel in Manesar in BJP-controlled Haryana. Two power projections, but after these images went out to the country, Sachin Pilot was sacked. Now let's get you the top developments in this very fast-paced and rapidly developing political potboiler. The Ashok Gehlot camp has prevailed for now. The Congress has sacked Sachin Pilot as Deputy Chief Minister and President of the Rajasthan Pradesh Congress Committee. Sachin Pilot says the truth cannot be defeated. He may put out a detailed statement tomorrow. He is theoretically still a member of the Congress party. Well, shortly after sacking Sachin Pilot, Rajasthan Chief Minister Ashok Gehlot met State Governor Kalraj Mishra. The meeting took place at the Raj Bhawan. Gehlot says he had no role in sacking Pilot and that Pilot and his loyalists fell into a BJP trap. Meanwhile, Sachin Pilot's loyalists and two cabinet ministers, Vishvendra Singh and Ramesh, Meena, have also been sacked from their posts. The price of being loyal to the quote-unquote enemy of the Rajasthan government. As the crisis within the Congress has deepened, Priyanka Gandhi rushed to her mother's residence, Sonia Gandhi's house at 10 Janpat. Several Congress leaders are reportedly unhappy with Pilot's sacking. Jitin Prasada and Gundu Rao say they are saddened at the events that led to Pilot's sacking. And after the axe fell on Sachin Pilot, the BJP camp in Jaipur has gone into a huddle. Top party leaders including Gajendra Singh Shekhawat and Om Mathur say the doors are open to Sachin Pilot if he wants to follow in Jyotiraditya's footsteps and join the BJP. Now I want to zoom out, take you into the air and show you how this political potboiler is actually playing out. It's across different cities, two big five-star resorts, and two leaders who've dug in their heels, one of whom has just been sacked as the Deputy Chief Minister of Rajasthan. Gehlot's MLAs are at the super luxury Fairmont Resort in Jaipur. It's just outside the Rajasthan state capital. Sachin Pilot's MLAs are a little over 100 kilometers away at the ITC Manesar. This is just outside Gurugram, another super luxury five-star property there. Sachin Pilot himself is in Delhi. So that's a map of where everybody is at this point of time. I want to quickly go across first to India Today's Ankit Tyagi, who's reporting from the Fairmont Resort in Jaipur, and Anand Patel reporting live from Sachin Pilot's residence in Delhi. Quickly first to Anand Patel. Anand, Sachin Pilot planning to make a statement of some kind tomorrow. He's theoretically still part of the Congress party.
Well, yes, Shiv, this is what we are hearing. Earlier on, there was word that he might do a press conference in the evening, but that didn't happen. And what sources close to Sachin Pilot have told us that he'll be issuing a detailed statement on turn of events. Now, that is what is going to happen tomorrow. But today, what has happened was, it was writing on the wall. The manner in which Sachin Pilot had turned rebellious, the manner in which he was defying the directions of the party high command, forcing this decision to take action against him. Now, Gehlot, perhaps, he's the happiest man. He could, remove Sachin Pilot from his government, and also it looks like he'll be out of the Congress party as well. So a thorn in the flesh is gone. Now, these two leaders, Gehlot and Pilot, were at loggerheads right since the beginning when the government was formed in December 2018. And ever since that, this particular house, 5 Canning Road, it was witness to several statements by Sachin Pilot every time he used to come to Delhi with file load of complaints against Gehlot, and he used to go to 10 Janpat and Rahul Gandhi and lodge a complaint, and he used to talk to us. But now he's incommunicado. He's communicating through sources, he's communicating through his close aides.
Yes.
And all we have is his video sitting with his choice MLAs. Now that is all he has. Perhaps he has jumped the gun. That is what, people are telling us, people who are close to Pilot are telling us. He tried to do a Scindia. Perhaps he depended too much on the BJP. He didn't have the numbers actually. That is why the BJP has been soft peddling the entire episode. BJP has been like, the Operation Lotus which happened in Karnataka or Madhya Pradesh.
Yes.
It's not that kind of an operation here. It's a covert operation, Shiv. And look at the turn of events. Yesterday when all these events came out, there were IT raids and ED raids to block the money supply between the MLAs who were disgruntled.
Let me go across to Ankit at the Fairmont Resort near Jaipur, where Team Gehlot and all Gehlot's MLAs are. Ankit, the blood has been drawn. Sachin Pilot has been sacked unceremoniously from the government. Ashok Gehlot has explicitly named him as well. But as far as numbers go, the government is safe as of now in Rajasthan?
Well, they wouldn't have taken this decision, Shiv, if they did not feel that the government was safe, at least at this moment. Mr. Ashok Gehlot will have to, in fact, will be looking over his shoulders, because the majority would thin. But the fact remains that Mr. Gehlot, and I'll ask just my camera person to in fact show you, just about 5 minutes back, his cavalcade, which has gone, he had gone to meet the governor as well, informing about the decision of 3 of his cabinet colleagues, including the Deputy Chief Minister being sacked. He's just gone inside the Fairmont resort right now. Shiv, we spoke to a senior MLA who is inside, and they claim that they have 89 Congress MLAs inside, and total the number which is sitting inside as we speak is 103. This is just 2 above the majority mark. So Mr. Pilot, according to them, has about 21 people, including 17 to 18 Congress and about 3 to 4 independents, those who are supporting him at this moment. As at this moment, Mr. Gehlot thinks that it will have to be an explicit operation now. BJP will have to come full force, trying to, in fact, poach lower MLAs if there has to be, if some change of guard as far as the Congress is concerned. At this point of time, Mr. Gehlot seems to have emerged on the top. But remember, it is a wafer-thin majority. He cannot rest on this from here on.
Ankit and Anand, thank you very much for joining us. Devankur will continue to be with us as we continue to report this story live. It's a rapidly developing one. Sanjay Jha of the Congress party, he's no longer a Congress spokesperson because he's been speaking the truth within his party for a while now, and he has been sort of paying the price for that. Sanjay, welcome back. Thank you for being with me. You're very sad today, I can tell from your tweets. You have been for a while, but you're especially upset today, Sanjay, to see what's happened. Did you expect that the axe would fall in this manner on Sachin Pilot?
Shiv, frankly, no. I thought the Congress party will wake up to being politically pragmatic. The disaster of Madhya Pradesh should have taught us a lesson. Losing a talented young politician like Jyotiraditya Scindia, a heavyweight, if you look at him from any parameter, and losing your own government in Madhya Pradesh should have taught us a lesson. Once bitten, twice shy. But, to blow up and destabilize your own government in Rajasthan, to treat somebody who frankly put up a fantastic performance in 2018, working for 5 years, tirelessly all over Rajasthan. Mr. Modi and Mr. Shah in Delhi, not an easy time to really make an electoral triumph. Congress had been losing left, right and center before that. And what did we do? We did not make him the chief minister. And today, whatever is playing out, the entire, whether you want to call it dirty linen or political, kind of disagreements, the fact is that the Congress party is the loser. It's not about whether Mr. Gehlot remains the chief minister or Mr. Sachin Pilot becomes the chief minister. The entire country is witnessing a Congress government in Rajasthan, which was relatively stable, now reaching a point, a flashpoint of virtual no return. We are having resort politics happening with our own government there. You can't blame the BJP here. And you have a chief minister who allows a certain, in my opinion, an extremely humiliating and embarrassing notice to go to the deputy chief minister, which is a brazen attempt to provoke him, instigate him. I mean, is this the kind of internecine politics that should happen to a party that is struggling to get its act back together? I'm really disappointed. Bored.
Sanjay, who do you blame for this? You know, see, we've seen a lot of players on the battlefield in the last 48 hours, you and I. You know, we've seen emissaries being sent from Delhi, you know, the Ajay Makans and the Randeep Singh Surjewalas, the Avinash Pandays. The phones have been worked. We haven't heard one word from Rahul Gandhi. I'm just wondering, is Rahul Gandhi, I mean, I know these are organizations and these are complicated issues. I appreciate that. But is Rahul Gandhi more to blame than anyone else for this? I mean, he's the young leader. He's the guy with the connect with the next generation of the Congress. He's the guy, you know, let's face it. Yes, Sonia Gandhi is the president, but Rahul Gandhi is the guy running the show. He's supposed to be the one keeping the flock together.
Well, you know, Shiv, let me answer that question. It's a very valid one that you have raised. Congress is virtually existing in a few states. Post Madhya Pradesh, post losing Karnataka, we have a handful. What should the party do? I mean, it's in our interest to make sure that all these states are stable, strong, and performing so well that it can actually come back. Now, you have the chief minister and the deputy chief minister who, it is a public secret, do not get along well for obvious reasons. I think Sachin Pilot has an absolute genuine reason for feeling miffed. And Mr. Gehlot coming back as a third-time chief minister, I always felt was a disastrous decision which portended serious trouble, which is playing out. Now, as the leader of the party, now Mr. Gandhi obviously will say that he's not the Congress president, he's just an ordinary MP. But a lot of people speculate that he's a de facto head who's calling the shots. But I would expect whoever is the Congress leader at this point of time, whether it's interim Congress president Mrs. Gandhi or Mr. Rahul Gandhi, the simplest way to sort this problem out is get the two leaders together, pick up the phone, get them together, get into a huddle, sort it out. I mean, a simple answer to, I posted a simple solution actually, is to get Sachin Pilot to be the chief minister. Mr. Gehlot is a senior, experienced political leader. You need him in Delhi to rebuild the entire India campaign to get the Congress back and appoint a new leader as the Rajasthan Pradesh Congress Committee. You know, if you want to troubleshoot, you want to fix a problem, it's very easy. I think it's a question of political intent. I'm I'm actually quite stunned as to how is the Congress party allowing its own dismemberment to happen in broad daylight. And this is going to damage us not just in Rajasthan, all over the country.
Is it just a matter of time, Sanjay, before Sachin Pilot is also removed from the party itself? I mean, the blood is flowing. He's been sacked very unceremoniously from the Rajasthan government as well as his position as the state, Congress chief in Rajasthan. What remains of Sachin Pilot in the Congress now?
Well, I believe that in politics, you never write anybody's obituary. The second point is Sachin Pilot remains a massive draw all over Rajasthan. And I think today, if you were to go and ask people in Delhi, in Chennai, in Kolkata, and different parts of India, they would all tell you that people like Jyotiraditya and Sachin were seen as future Congress presidents, and everybody saw them as prime ministerial material. Because these are not just young men, who just had a father in politics. They have their own individual brand. They work hard, they slog it out. They're brilliant communicators and they have a political ambition. I mean, that's what you need in the Congress party. I keep saying that, Shiv, you want to win, you need to be hungry. You need to be angry when you lose.
I agree.
Otherwise, what are we in the space for heaven's sake? And I'm disappointed, but I do believe that at the moment Sachin is with the Congress. I know him well enough to know that he will not take any decision in haste. If anybody is a loser, whether it's today or tomorrow, it's going to be the Congress party. I'm very, very sad when I see a lot of Congress guys on social media tweeting, hey, we survived without Sachin, or leaders making triumphant statement that everything is all right. I'm like, for God's sake, guys, we have 96 seats in 2 Lok Sabha elections. We are saving our own state from a collapse. And you are celebrating as if we have beaten Mr. Modi and Mr. Shah. I mean, stop living in a fool's paradise.
Final question, Sanjay. Final question to you. Right after Sachin Pilot was sacked as the Rajasthan Deputy Chief Minister, you tweeted, first Jyotiraditya Scindia, now Sachin Pilot. Who next? Watch this space. I'm not being facetious, but are you talking about yourself? Or do you have information about more people waiting to exit?
I'm not talking about myself. I need to be very honest here. I am going to remain with the Congress. They may probably boot me out and throw me out after watching a show and saying Mr. Jha has broken the protocol and certain sacrosanct standards, which I guess only few people know. But the truth of the matter is there are many people in the Congress party as I speak, and I will say so because it is not a secret anymore.
Yes.
There are many people in the Congress party who are extremely disillusioned. And I'm not just talking about, the usual suspects that are named. There are members in the CWC who are deeply unhappy. There are leaders all across the country who realize that we face an existential crisis.
Yes.
And why they are bothered is because nobody seems to be in any hurry to fix it. I think that is where the real apprehension is.
Sanjay Jha, always a pleasure. Thank you very much for speaking to me. This is a story where I suspect we're going to hear a lot more from you in the days and the weeks ahead. The bloodletting continues inside the Congress. Sanjay Jha, thank you very much. Breaking news coming in now.
Hi everyone, Preeti Chaudhary here. Hope you like this video. For latest news and analysis, like and subscribe to the India Today YouTube channel. And don't forget to press the bell icon to stay updated. Thank you for watching.